Okay, guys, we're on another short Q&A session. Tonight we've got Rob from a weirdly named band called Specky Cult, which I'm guessing we have to be quite careful about saying sometimes. So, Rob, tell us what you're all about, what you're doing, what your music's all about, where you're heading, all that sort of thing.
I'll tell you a funny story about being called Specky Cult. I have a friend who runs a radio station, or is on a radio station. I won't name them because they're quite popular. But he actually missaid the word. He spent all day going Specky Cult, Specky Cult, Specky Cult, and then live he said it wrong, and they got a naughty letter telling him to.
I can imagine that's quite easy to do, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, the name comes because somebody made a comment about somebody in the band at the time, and that we knew it was so outrageous you wouldn't dare be able to use it, so we did.
Right, okay. And what
So it's
sort of
that kind of the look on your face is why it's funny because people are like petrified with
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's memorable, let's put it like that. So,
it. Yeah.
which is always good. So, what sort of stuff you doing? Where you doing it?
Uh, the band is obviously like all bands, various iterations of it. At the moment, we've got a drummer and keyboards, and we're all. Uh, the last couple of years, we've been electric. The original version was kind of acoustic.
Uh-huh.
Took a break due to COVID, and then once we came back, we decided to take a couple of years to get it electric. So we've got keyboard players, bass player, and it's a much bigger sound now, more punkier and more to the roots is what we wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
This is about a fourth single we've released. Is
Uh-huh.
this version of the band?
Yeah. So I did listen to the track which we were playing a minute. I listened to a few of the other tracks as well briefly, and it is, as you say, a kind of punk pop style stuff.
Yeah,
More punk than pop, I guess, really by today's standards. I think a lot of people put a lot of emphasis on punk pop. I get a lot of tracks labelled punk pop, but really that kind of pop, with a slight
yeah,
edge. Whereas I think yours is probably the other direction a little bit. You think?
right.
I think so. I mean, it's
Yeah,
more
that doesn't that I don't I wouldn't shy away from that. I don't mind that.
it's more aligned, I think, with the sort of punk that I would class from my youth. That's the sort of punk that I think of, and I think that your sound, certainly the track that we're going to play, that's
Yeah, yeah.
definitely got that style of energy about it. I think.
Good. Well, energy's there's a couple of words would love to be associated with, and obviously the first one is energy,
Yeah.
especially live. We really go off when we're live, we're off stage and we're dancing about. And I could have sent you a couple of pictures of like various us standing at the bar playing live with radio mics and things, and
Mm,
energy is important for us. And the other thing was, and you'll probably notice this by the singles and the name, there was a conscious effort to not be serious,
yeah, yeah.
to have an element of if we're not laughing at us writing the lyrics, we've done something wrong and we need to go back to the
Mm,
drawing board.
mm. And so,
Hence the dad dance thing and
yeah,
various other
yeah.
songs. We've got one called Big Shot where the chorus is various shopping outlets that you shout loud and everybody kind of laughs at when they hear somebody shouting Asda and Morrison's in a chorus.
Right. And so, how are you getting on with how you finding getting your music recorded? How are you doing that? Where you're doing it? Are you and getting it out there? And what sort of platforms are working for you at the
We're,
moment?
the first two singles we did locally that were really good, but this one and the last one we recorded it at the old church up in Rothbury, and it's where Sam Fender did his original albums.
Right.
So it was a bit of a little bit more what's the word for it? A bit more serious, a bit more let's do this properly. And you can tell when you hear, I think if you hear Dad Dance, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, that's been produced well,"
Mm.
which is it's not what you want people to say. You want them to say other things, but it helps when people in the business can tell that you've made the effort.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we it comes out on the 15th, and we've kind of released it ourselves, and it's via DistroKid, and it's just going to be on all the normal platforms. We have a local label called Butterfly Effect, and then later in the year they're talking about releasing something for us,
Hmm.
releasing the next single. So this is kind of the one before someone releases it for us.
Yeah, yeah.
We're still trying to get out and about with. I mean, I spend most nights sending it off to various promoters and people who'll do gigs for us because we're trying to get further afield to gig
Yeah, yeah.
with the kind of understanding that look, come October, November, we're going to be releasing something a little bit more on a label, so we need to get out and promote it. So this is kind of just to do spade work with it.
Yeah, yeah. And are you generally just touting it along the lines of, the Instagrams, the TikToks, the threads, the Facebook? Is that you?
Yeah, all the normal social media. It's a bit of it's a real. I've been in bands. I'm 57 now, so I've been in bands since I was about 17. So it's different now. If you're not doing the social medias, you're not going to get the gigs. Once upon a time, you just banged this cassette in the
Yeah, yeah,
envelope and some
yeah,
guy invited
yeah,
you to do a gig. It
yeah.
doesn't work that way now. It's all got to be social media.
Yeah, and even that is difficult. I mean, I repost people's stuff all the time, and does it work? I don't know. It really, I mean, that's
Traction's a funny thing. It's a bit like, how would I word this without upsetting people? We are of a certain age. My friends don't come to a lot of gigs just due to the fact that they're a certain age. You've got kids, grandkids. You're busy with watching the football.
mm,
We play with bands who are 19 and they can literally sell out venues. Got the friends from college, and even gigs is quite a difficult thing to do now. And we speak to people of similar ages or a lot younger than us even, and they're saying we kind of get people at gigs,
yeah.
but younger bands can sell them out straight away. And that, I mean, that's a good thing if you can mix and match and play with them, which is what we've tried to do.
Well, yeah, and this is one of the things that I always sort of try and do a little bit of without being too sort of I don't know upfront about it, and that is to sort of catch on the bandwagon if you can of someone else's success. So if someone I can see is doing well, I'm always looking for not so much artists because I like doing artists that haven't got that much success, but when it comes to trying to help them promote stuff or get it out there, I'm always looking for somebody with a bigger outlet than me. Somebody that's got a better, and I try and hook up with them in some way, whether it's a website backlink or just to get someone to follow you, who's got a bigger audience. And that's all I try and do. I mean, I haven't got a massive audience, but what I'll say to people is, look, I've got a shop window here, which I'm working on. I'll put you in the window. I can't make people buy your stuff, but I can put it there for you, and that's it.
Yeah, and that, I don't think you're being dishonest in that. I think bands do that, promoters do that, managers do that. It's all a bit of a like a circle, isn't it? That you're helping them and they're helping you.
Yeah, definitely, and it is. Again, you'll see this in some of the people we spoke to in the last couple of weeks. It's about building a bit of a relationship and a bit of a network, and trying to pick the right person for the right task that you've got at that time. You
Yeah,
might bring a single out and think, well, they might be able to help me, but maybe they might not so much, and you
yeah.
just pick the right avenue for yourself.
We're quite lucky. We find because we're all of a similar age and we're good mixers and we've got kids and you've when we do gigs with bands always like invite us back. And I think a lot of that's because we're good communicators. We're a bit, we're not really young and a bit edgy and taking ourselves a bit serious. We always, if somebody describes us, I always use the analogy about, these guys who play five-a-side on the Sunday and they're well past their best.
Yeah,
And they're sitting there having a tab and a can of lager and they're the goalie. That's us.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't take it at all. This is our hobby.
yeah, yeah.
So all of a sudden people are going, oh, he's a bit funny and we quite get on with you. And it's like, because we're not taking it seriously.
Yeah, yeah, cool. Okay, well, look, I'm going to play a little bit of the track, which is out soon on the 15th, I think you said. Let's just play a little bit of that. Like I said, you may not hear this, but you'll know what it's all about.
Rosie on my shoulder 'cause it's back open. Vintage classes played end to end. DJ playing by Judge the Max. Spanky don't have no time to relax. Cheap, crafty shame and the breath you take. And hip hop and his hips don't shake. He's coming out.
Okay, so I remember this now because I did listen to this when you first sent it, actually. That to me says, what does it say? It says people like Jilted John, the X-Ray Specs, Echo Beach, Martha and the Muffins,
Right?
B-52s. It's got,
We get the B-52s a lot and Blondie. You get
yeah, a
an
little bit,
extra
yeah.
point. the extra point is if one of the how there's a long convoluted story of how Specky Cult came about during COVID, and it was me being bored, and I wrote a musical, a punk version of Hamilton, and the band was called Specky Cult.
Right.
I took the name from what somebody had said about it, and it was when I was young, I played in London with the Stranglers. I supported them, and everything that happened.
One of my
19
favourite
year old.
bands.
We got on really well with the guitarist, but that's where the we wrote I wrote a play about us doing those gigs,
Yeah, yeah.
and when I deliberately wrote the songs for the play, they were acoustic, but I wanted them to sound like Ian Dury.
Mm.
We deliberately wanted them to be like light-hearted and that kind of like humorous
Yeah,
lines that
yeah,
Ian
yeah.
Dury
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
So, and even now, a lot of dad dance, I feel when I listen to our lyrics, I always think if people aren't smiling, we have done something wrong here. So there's nothing I genuinely think it's a little bit of a off the hat that Ian Jury's clever witticisms we're aiming at. I'm not saying we get there, but we're aiming at.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's definitely got a vibe of that sort of era about it, and well produced with it as well, like you said. So hopefully
Yeah.
it'll do okay for you. I've got a punk pop playlist actually. I'll drop it on there. That seems quite popular. So where are you heading next? What's the next on the list for you guys?
Well, gigs, lots of gigs to promote it, and it's not out yet. So we at the moment it's that admin bit where you just send it to people and hoping to get somebody hopefully go, can I
Yeah,
interview
yeah.
you, can I? It's in a couple of magazines and we've had some reviews. I mean, it's all positive. Uh, it does feel a better. The last couple of singles, each one's got better, whether it's production or this one. We deliberately sat down and went, we want people uh, to sing along or to tap their feet, and that whole shout and dad dance
Yeah,
live. Everybody's the same. It kind of you can see people catching the rhythm of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. How many people are in the band?
We have a drummer, Steve, Carol, singer, me, and our keyboard player plays bass and keys, which
Okay,
is Rob, other Rob.
cool. Okay. And whereabouts are you based? You're in the UK,
We're
obviously.
based in sort of Whitley Bay, Newcastle.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Nice. Is there plenty of venues up there around at the moment to play?
Yeah, there's a really good scene to be honest with you, and there's a lot of bands who we've been playing with who are a lot younger than us, and there's a couple. I'll not name them because all the heads will get too big. But you kind of go, this isn't bad playing with them because if they make big, like my kids all go, I love them, they're really good, and we're playing with them.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A bit of name dropping always works, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And have you ventured into? I've asked a couple of people this. Ventured into physical media, vinyl, cassette, CDs, any of that thing?
No, well, no, but we plan on Butterfly Effect, the label. We're going to come out in later in the year. They released 12-inch singles of the stuff they released, so
Right.
we're
Yeah.
going to obviously do that. It's
Yeah.
just at the minute we are at the point where we give everything away. We don't charge anything or do anything. It's just because it's a hobby. You kind of like it playing golf or whatever. You work out how much it's going to cost you a year, and that's what we put into the band.
Well, that's right. And again, I spoke to someone about this a couple of nights ago, and it's effectively people say they don't want to, they want to do some CDs or they want to do some merch and that, but it costs too much. They never make the money back. And I said, well, yeah, but isn't that effectively investing in yourself? Really, is what you're doing. It's one of the downsides of investment. You're giving stuff away to make sure someone goes away with something with your name on, that might remind them to listen to you again or to come to another gig or whatever.
It is, and it is a bit. You've got to you would invest in your hobby, like I said, if you played golf
Yeah,
or you did
exactly. Yeah.
something. So we're kind of this again. This single and the last one are really just to touch base with people. Somebody goes, "Oh, that's quite good," and we're kind of in the back of mind going, "Well, right, well, when this proper single comes out, when the thing on the label comes out, we'll get it to them." Weirdly enough, we've had a few people who've been in touch from labels or going, we would have possibly, we could have got this out for you.
Mm.
So it was like everything else, it's a bit late, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you never know. You might get you might get something out of it, and somebody might pick up on it. But
Yeah, hopefully. And
okay,
again, we're not, where the big guys smoking and drinking lager in goal on a Sunday. We're not that worried. This
yeah,
is just
yeah, yeah,
fun for us, which weirdly enough helps.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you rehearsing often?
We rehearse once a week, and we're kind of gigging almost once a week now at
Oh,
this
yeah.
point. So it's not so. It's like we see rehearsing and we're trying to write songs and we're using the gigs to be
To practice them.
but there's nothing better than doing gigs to get tighter.
That's
Simple as
right,
that.
yeah, definitely, yeah. I did acoustic sets for ages on open mics, and the first couple were a bit iffy, but once you've got through half a dozen, you've got it down, nailed, haven't you?
That's one of our little steals. We go do buskers nights and feel like, no offense that the guy's going and he plays his favorite Bob Dylan song, and then we go play two songs we've written,
Yeah.
and we come across quite good. It's a good way of getting the audience people.
Yeah, confidence plays a big part in that, I think, doesn't it, as well? If you're confident what you're doing,
Yeah. But the more you do it, the more confident you get.
well,
isn't
exactly,
it?
yeah, it becomes more natural. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Rob, it's been great talking to you. I hope you have some success with with the new single. I'm gonna, like I say, I'll add it to the playlist. Everyone that comes on here, I'm going to put them on the website anyway, and just
Brilliant.
give their current track a little push, and we'll see where we go, and hopefully we'll touch base again at some point in the future.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It was much appreciated.
No problem.